The engines were seconds from roaring to life when a small voice pierced through the open daylight like a desperate alarm. Under the warm sun, among rows of polished chrome and patched leather jackets, a little boy with dusty sneakers and trembling hands sprinted down the gravel road toward the notorious biker group, known for their thunderous rides and intimidating presence. He looked impossibly small against the massive motorcycles glinting in the daylight. The riders were just about to ignite their engines when the boy shouted with every ounce of courage he had, telling them to stop. A few helmets turned, a few eyes narrowed, dust floated in the stillness, and then the youngest biker in the group kicked his engine off again, stunned by what he saw. The boy's face was pale, panicked, and streaked with the kind of fear that makes grown men freeze. Something was terribly wrong, and whatever it was enough to halt the Hell's Angels in their tracks. If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Chronicles. It helps us bring more inspiring stories to you. Under the midday sun of Brookdale Town, life usually moves slow, but on that particular afternoon, the air felt unsettling, like something was shifting beneath the surface. Among the group of riders was Rowan Briggs, known for his intimidating height, scarred forearms, and a past he seldom talked about. He had joined the biker group after losing his way years back, first losing his job, then his marriage, then the hope he once had. The group became his family when he had none, but even among them, he carried a weight in his chest that refused to leave. Today was supposed to be a charity ride the group organized each year, raising funds for struggling kids. People often misunderstood, but deep down, most of the men had seen enough darkness in life to know how much kindness mattered. Rowan removed his helmet slowly, trying to make sense of the terrified child who had just run straight into a pack of roaring machines. The boy was skinny, no older than 9 or 10, his black hair unevenly cut, clothes worn, and eyes swollen as if he'd been crying for days. He caught his breath, holding his side as though he'd been running for miles. The other bikers looked around, unsure whether to approach him or keep their distance. Children normally avoided them, sometimes even crossing to the other side of the road when they passed. But here he was, running toward them like they were his last chance at survival. Rowan stepped forward while the others stayed back. The boy swallowed hard, lifting a small hand to point toward the hillside woods that bordered the town. Rowan followed his trembling finger and saw smoke. Not thick enough to be seen from far away, but enough to hint at danger. The boy grabbed Rowan's vest with desperate urgency, trying to pull him in the direction of the trouble. Rowan felt something shift in him, an old instinct that had been buried for too long, an instinct to help. While the group exchanged glances, Rowan made up his mind. He signaled to the others, and although the men looked startled, not one hesitated. They turned off their engines, climbed off their bikes, and gathered around the child. He struggled to speak, voice quivering as he explained that his older sister, 14-year-old Mira, was stuck in an abandoned shed deep in the woods, where they'd been gathering firewood. A small brush fire had caught near the old structure, and she couldn't get out because part of the entrance had collapsed. He had tried to move debris himself, but was too small, too weak, and too afraid she would suffocate if he didn't find help in time. Rowan's heart tightened. He remembered a time years ago when he had been too late to save someone he loved. That memory haunted every corner of his existence. Seeing the fear in the boy's eyes felt like reliving the pain all over again. He couldn't let it happen. Again. Not today, not to this child. The bikers moved instantly, their fearsome reputation replaced by raw human determination. Rowan instructed the group to split. 4 of them would follow, the boy directly through the narrow forest trail while the rest took the longer dirt path, using their bikes to block off the roadside in case the fire spread. The child, whose name he finally learned was Narration, led the way with frantic steps, constantly glancing back to ensure Rowan was close. Rowan reassured him with silent nods, pouring every ounce of strength into keeping the kid calm. Sunlight flickered through the trees as they raced deeper into the woods. The scent of burning leaves and smoldering branches grew stronger with each step. The shed came into view, a weathered wooden structure leaning heavily to one side, flames licking dangerously close to its outer wall. The air buzzed with heat, and Rowan saw a thin figure through the narrow opening where planks had fallen inward. Mira was there, coughing, her arms wrapped around herself, trying to stay conscious. Rowan's chest burned with urgency. The shed crackled under pressure, and the heat intensified, but he pushed forward. He and two other riders grabbed the collapsed wooden beams and heaved with all their strength. It was stubborn, heavy, and old, but they were stronger, fueled by adrenaline and the desperate need to save the girl. Narration called out to his sister repeatedly, his tiny voice cracking with fear. Rowan promised himself he would not fail this time. With one final surge, the entrance broke free, and Rowan slid into the narrow gap. Mira's eyes lifted weakly, confusion blending with fear at the sight of a massive biker reaching for her. Rowan lifted her gently but firmly, carrying her out before the flames reached the inner structure. As soon as they were clear, the shed groaned and caved inward with a heavy collapse, sending a rush of sparks into the air. Rowan placed Mira on the ground while Narration fell beside her, crying with relief as she whispered his name. The other riders immediately sprang into action, creating a safe perimeter, calling for emergency support, and handing the siblings bottled water. Everything felt surreal. Bikers covered in tattoos kneeling in the dirt, comforting two terrified children as the woods crackled behind them. As the sun rose over Brookdale one warm morning, Rowan watched the two siblings eating breakfast across the table from him, smiling at each other, safe and alive. He felt something shift deep inside, a sense of purpose, belonging, and hope he hadn't felt in years. The boy who had once yelled, "Don't start your bikes," had unknowingly restarted Rowan's life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Chronicles. Your support helps us spread more real, inspiring stories. Special request? Comment: kindness always wins if you believe in humanity. In the end, the moment that shocked the world wasn't just that a little boy stopped a group of fearsome bikers, it was that a group of misunderstood men proved that even the most rugged hearts could rise to extraordinary kindness, and that sometimes strangers who cross our paths aren't coincidences. They're the people meant to change our lives forever.